more of that, please. Boo the felon and boo his enablers. That right there was at the Colorado State Capitol building, where you saw people booing all these MAGA Republicans who were trying to lie about the disastrous Trump budget bill. But it's not just people in Colorado. I mean, let's take a look at what's happening in Florida as Donald Trump's ICE is raiding construction sites. You have people like Jake Cohen right here, a Trump supporter, who said, "Lost a lot of good men today. I like Trump, but this isn't what I voted for. This will absolutely kill the economy in construction. I thought he was going after gang members and criminals with warrants, not hard-working guys." The immigration raid at Tallahassee construction sites, and we're seeing more of this across the country as Donald Trump is just trying to absolutely destroy our economy. Donald Trump was also spending yesterday attacking the Federalist Society and its chairman, Leonard Leo. Yeah, that's enemy number one for Donald Trump is now Leonard Leo, the head of the Federalist Society. And you may go, what? Isn't Leonard Leo the guy who basically helped bring all these right-wing federal judges to the bench, who ended up allowing Donald Trump's dangerous agenda to be implemented? You would be right, but go back and study fascist and authoritarian movements throughout history. Go look at even recent history, like Saddam Hussein going after members of his own Ba'ath Party, right? The first people they actually go after are the people who helped elevate them because they view them as threats. We've seen this through the beginning of time, and we're seeing it here again. Donald Trump, an authoritarian, attacking Leonard Leo. Just first off, look at this post. Just visually look at it. For our audio listeners, it's like 70 run-on sentences in one massive blob of a paragraph that if anybody close to you or anybody you knew in general wrote you a message like this, you would need them to be under an involuntary 5150 hold, because it's literally the most deranged thing. Now, why is Donald Trump spending his time attacking Leonard Leo, who's the head of the Federalist Society? Because a Trump-appointed judge was on the Federal International Court panel that ruled against Donald Trump in Trump's unlawful tariffs. The power of tariffing is in Congress. Article 1. It's in the Congress, not in the executive branch. And so a Federal International Trade Court that had one Trump-appointed judge, one Reagan-appointed judge, and one Biden-appointed judge unanimously agreed that Trump's tariffs against the world on April 2nd were invalid. A federal court of appeals stayed that order and allowed Donald Trump's tariffs to remain in place for now. What a horrible ruling that is, at least until June 9th, when there will be more briefing and potentially a ruling then. But Trump is saying, I got all of these bad Trump judges. I've appointed all of these Trump judges because Leonard Leo and the Federalist Society told me to appoint these people, and the Trump judges are now ruling against me. So he calls Leonard Leo a sleazebag and scum and just all of these words. And Leonard Leo is the guy who created all these right-wing federal judges for the Federalist Society to enact Trump's dangerous agenda. Leonard Leo getting thrown under the bus. The U.S. Court of International, I'll only read some of this too. The U.S. Court of International Trade incredibly ruled against the United States of America on desperately needed tariffs. But fortunately, the full 11-judge panel on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit Court has just stayed the order by the Manhattan-based Court of International Trade. When do these initial 3 judges come from? Where do they come from? You appointed one, Reagan appointed one. How is it possible for them to have potentially done such damage to the United States of America? Is it purely a hatred for Trump, a Trump-appointed judge hatred for Trump? Maybe you're just violating the law, you despicable, vile felon. He goes on to say, what other reason could it be? I was new to Washington, and it was suggested that I use the Federalist Society as a recommending source on judges. I did so openly and freely, but then realized that they are under the thumb of a real real sleazebag named Leonard Leo, a bad person who, in his own way, probably hates America and obviously has his own separate ambitions. He openly brags how he controls judges and even justices of the United States Supreme Court. I hope that is not so and don't believe it is. In any event, Leo left the Federalist Society to do his own thing. I'm so disappointed in the Federalist Society because of the bad advice they gave me on numerous judicial nominations. I can go on and on and on, but it's just him whining. You get the point. And then he posts more memes of himself like this one, a photo of himself that says, "He's on a mission from God and nothing can stop what is coming." By the way, zoom in on the left right there. And I just noticed this one. Do you see the Pepe the Frog logo, which is not always used as a white supremacist dog whistle, but it frequently is. So you could judge for yourself what you think, why there's Pepe the Frog in the left right there in this meme that Donald Trump is posting when we know Donald Trump, it's the Fruit Snacks account. I'm just seeing it now. At Fruit Snacks. The at Fruit Snacks account posts all this QAnon stuff over and over and over again. So I think we know what the source is. So Trump's posting more QAnon accounts right there.
Thanks, Ben. Brett here. Allow me to interrupt for just a moment to break down an issue that's really important to us here at MeidasTouch, and that's the climate, because we really need to discuss what's going on with this Republican budget bill. As we've reported, House Republicans passed their budget bill that would repeal the clean energy tax credits from the Inflation Reduction Act, and I just want to be clear about what this means if it passes the Senate as is. In voting for this bill, the House Republicans voted to kill hundreds of thousands of jobs in their own districts, and if the Senate follows through, red states are going to get hit the hardest. Listen to this. Over $642 billion in investment, nearly 75% of all clean energy spending, has gone to Republican-led states. We're talking massive projects like Toyota's battery plant in North Carolina, solar factories in Georgia, wind farms in Wyoming, and lithium mines in Nevada. So let me focus on Republican Senator Thom Tillis's home state of North Carolina for just a second, because the Inflation Reduction Act has helped attract $23 billion in investment, according to data compiled by Atlas Public Policy and Utah State University. 47 new facilities in the state, including that massive Toyota battery plant I was just talking about, could create about 20,000 new jobs, the data shows. You kill those credits, those jobs vanish, costs go up for families, the power grid weakens, and the US hands the AI and clean tech race to China. And there's more. Bloomberg reports that Climate Power, an environmental group, calculates that 29 House Republicans represent districts that have each received at least $2 billion in clean energy investments since the IRA's passage, with another 18 holding seats that have benefited from between $1 billion and $2 billion. In all, 152 Republican-held districts have received $200 billion in clean energy investment since the IRA's passage, nearly half of the nationwide total. Even GOP senators are privately panicking right now. Senator Markey put it bluntly, this bill eviscerates America's clean energy future, and it's going to be very hard for Republicans to justify voting against the jobs and industries they helped bring home. So let's keep focused on these climate issues. Let's continue to push for a clean energy future, because clean energy is not only good for the environment, it means jobs, it means future-proofing our country and the world. Back to you, Ben.
Donald Trump also attacked the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, yesterday, brought Jerome Powell into the White House basically to yell at him, to try to bully him into lowering interest rates. Jerome Powell had to come out with a statement right after meeting with Donald Trump in order to make sure the markets didn't totally collapse yesterday. And Chairman Powell said that basically he and his colleagues will always make decisions solely on careful, objective, and non-political analysis after Donald Trump, tried to bully him into lowering interest rates, which would cause inflation to rise. Speaking about rising, jobless claims rising to 240,000 in the past week. Continuing claims climbed to the highest level since 2021. So the weekly jobless claims increased 14,000 to 240,000. Continuing claims rise 26,000 to 1.919 million. Corporate profits fall $118.1 billion in the first quarter. The economy contracting 0.2%. in quarter 1 by all measures. Not good. Also, take a look at the Wall Street Journal op-ed right here. Big law firms 3, Trump 0. 3 judges across the political spectrum, Democrats and Republicans, have now said that Donald Trump's punitive executive orders are unconstitutional. This from the Wall Street Journal editorial board. Again, a right-leaning paper. The Trump executive orders are an abuse of executive power that isn't justified under any fair reading of the Constitution. He would be wise to cut his losses before he goes 0 for 9 at the Supreme Court. Bloomberg's op-ed or Bloomberg's opinion newsletter says the tariffs are illegal. This is not some weird technicality. This is just what the Constitution says. The Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, and to regulate commerce with foreign nations. Not Donald Trump. One of the things we're starting to see as well, and we're tracking all of this here at the MeidasTouch Network, is the prices are now rising based on Donald Trump's actions from April. It's a lag time. So we saw Hyundai's price increases taking effect as soon as next week. We're seeing Best Buy's comment that price increases really only began mid-May. As Carl Quintanilla says, we're in the early innings of the price increases right here. Again, we're talking about increases. U.S. government spending since January 21st is up 8.7% over the equivalent period in 2024. It's up 7.2% over 2023. So Elon Musk is leaving Washington, not just as he found it, but with more federal spending. So for all of the torture that DOJ inflicted on federal workers, for all of the destruction of essential services, there's more federal spending now than under former President Biden. Donald Trump continues to be humiliated by Russia's dictator Vladimir Putin. Trump is starting to privately feel humiliated that Putin is tapping him along and does not want to end the war. At the same time, Trump continues to say that he's going to wait 2 weeks, his favorite verbal crutch when stalling for time, before deciding on the next move. Meanwhile, the 30-year Treasury yields jump back to over 5%, reflecting the instability in the United States economy, especially by foreign bondholders and foreign buyers at our bond auctions. According to the Washington Post, to follow up from the great reporting over at Notice, citations in the MAHA report, Make American Healthy report, have telltale signs that it used an AI chatbot. We reviewed all 522 of the listed citations, and at least 37 of the footnotes appear multiple times in the citations, with another 21 having dead links. We also talked about the Notice report, where it contacted epidemiologists who are listed as citations for some of the things that are stated in this report, who said we've never written any such reports or scientific papers before. And this is being used to justify real, drastic, and horrible health-related decisions like preventing people from getting vaccines, not investing in vaccines, not investing in infectious research, covering up E. coli, covering up measles. Outside of the Trump International Hotel at the Columbus Circle right there, people are posting taco, taco, taco everywhere. Trump always chickens out. So India assessing the taco, the European Union assessing the taco, all countries assessing Donald Trump as a taco right now. A big chicken, utterly pathetic, a felon, a sexual abuser, a fraud, a bankrupter who's doing it in real time to the United States of America. Thank you all for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.